It is Wednesday, my dudes. November the 17th, 2021. Session number 5, the big 5. We have a number of madness things going on today between fevers and burgeoning colds and still being in 4 separate time zones. So we're going to keep things crisp. We're going to keep things moving right along here. So, how's everybody doing?
Whoa.
Woohoo.
Woohoo! Surprising. Woohoo!
Okay.
We be here.
We're here.
Yeah.
When last we left off, you guys sailed up a river. You guys got eaten by dinosaur, or almost got eaten by dinosaur. Sailed across a lake. Sailed down a river. And then you spent some time in St. Endwinel, where Cinder met Ubo, a turtle man from the depths, who was apparently the mayor of the town. Rook did a little crimes. Celeste tried to spar a little bit with Julia, and Millicent got meat, as Millicent is wont to do. You guys met up with Jensung, who is a half-orc woman and a hopper pilot, who owns her own hopper, as well as Charles, her mangy cat. And she flew you across the skies to your final destination of Tanagra, stopping off first at the northern tip of the continent of Shavirik to rest for a night. On your way there, that-a-way direction, you guys came across the Fool's Banquet, a group of, I want to say, pirates, who were maybe a little bit less threatening than they were hoping to be, and you pretty much just scared them off with some well-placed intimidating spells and crossbow bolts. You guys rested the night, at which time Cinder saw some scorpion people watching you from a distance, and said no thank you, and continued
The best
southward.
place for scorpion people to be?
Yeah, far away. Far away. And then you floated on down to Tanagra, which is where we find ourselves this fine day. What day is it, you might ask? Oh,
I do.
it is Wednesday, my dudes. It's far into the it's early mid evening right now. It's around maybe 5 p.m. at the moment. I didn't clear the chat. Thanks for trying to remind me, Russ. I really do appreciate it, but unfortunately, mission failed. We'll get him next time.
We did like half the time.
Sometime I'll
I always DM you in Fantasy Grounds, but you're too busy to notice it.
Yeah, well, I usually don't have Fantasy Grounds open at that juncture, so I'm usually looking over
That's,
other notes, but I appreciate the effort.
that would do it.
I wish I could give one of you guys the ability to use that clear command in Fantasy Grounds, but alas. We're going to keep having this thing where Discord goes, I see you're listening to Spotify, let me pause it for you, for no discernible reason. I love that. So, you guys
One of
are...
our favorite old tricks that it's bringing back.
Yeah, it stopped doing that for a while, but it's back.
But alas. All right.
But alas. We're going to keep things pretty short tonight, probably a hard-ish stop around 9 my time, which will be 8 Maddie's time, and like 6 Lindsay's time, and like 11 Russ's time, and probably midnight for someone else. And you guys are flying into what you can definitely tell from a distance to be Tanagra, because first and foremost, it's kind of on the northern coast of this large continent that is Shavirik. It's still considered part of the Unnamed Islands and not part of Shavirik, and you can plainly see the dividing line there in the form of this enormous concrete wall that spans the entire length of that part of the continent. It is very, very tall and pretty close to the city. And you can see kind of resting there, nestled in between a couple of groves of these spindly palm trees, is what looks like just kind of like a big military complex. There's a lot of these sort of tent-like structures and a lot of these squat, square stone buildings making up various compounds, and there's some fenced-off areas in between them, some paths running back and forth. The whole thing takes up quite a bit of space. There's not a lot of activity or hustle and bustle that you can see as you guys kind of come in for a landing here. You do notice that to the north there is a gridliner dock that would seem to take you to the island, the second island. And you can see that the entire town is surrounded by a thick brick wall as well. And judging by these outposts and towers kind of along the wall every couple 20 feet or so that seem to have mounted ballistas and other unfriendly looking weapons, you gather that you probably don't want to try and land inside the town. Seems like they probably discourage that behavior. But Jensung seems to know where to go nonetheless, and kind of leads you to a other smattering of buildings that seem to be outside the city proper, where there are a number of what look like stables, a number of sort of squat platforms for hoppers to land on, and a number of perhaps small inns and taverns that people can rest at. So she kind of brings you in for a landing here. The process of landing is every bit as disconcerting as it was the night before. She seems to be a little bit green when it comes to flying these things, so you kind of come in for like a rough kind of skidding landing, but she still manages to land on this sort of stone helipad that's here for her. I did
Good
it!
landing, Captain. Yes, excellent.
Little rough, but
We made it.
Julia just kind of like stands up. It's fine.
Just assume that's how these work.
Ooh.
Oh, Russ, you're gonna want to probably hop off and hop back on here. Hotel Wi-Fi, ladies and gentlemen.
Woohoo!
The paid one.
It
Yeah.
begins.
Now we get
There we
the
go,
moment
there we
where
go.
everybody looks really wacky for a second, and before it realigns, there we go.
Hello, I'm back. Do I sound terrible?
No,
Well, it's better now.
Oh,
Good. An
sound
auspicious
regular.
start.
Oh yeah, what'd you say?
Just,
Really?
it was nothing. It was just that's how these always work.
not always,
Great.
I don't think, but well, you know, whatever.
You
Listen
did, you
in.
did a fine job, Captain.
Thank you.
Yes, it was very we got here. We got here.
I would love you to stay as long as we do, please, because we might want to head back that way.
How long
so-
are you staying?
Uh,
I don't plan on staying too long.
Right.
Oh,
Well, I will let
His
you
name was
all.
Julia.
Do you have any cash on hand, you guys? To stay,
little.
grab an inn to stay in, because I want
A
to
little.
try and make my way over to the city before things close down for the day.
I think we should, yes.
Well, they'll let me in. I don't know about you, because I'm actually trying to be a part of the whole operation there. I think you guys can stay at an inn outside in this area.
Ah.
But I will be back. I just want to go
Alright.
and take care of the whole. This is who I am. Here's my papers. Here's my money. Please let me in. That kind of deal.
Sure.
That's it.
Alright.
Are you going to be safe overall? Like,
yeah.
Is
Should we
it
walk
just
you
pretty
to the?
You could.
gate?
I suppose. Yeah, you could walk me over there. If I am not safe here, then I won't be safe anywhere.
They don't attack for students. Ones that will be coming here, so. At least that goes for the sky, I imagine for the ground as well.
Yes, they try to keep.
I think should be fine.
It's sort of an independent. Anybody from anywhere is welcome to come here, and if you do, then you are protected until such time as you leave.
well, that's the case, then I have full confidence you'll be okay.
Still, if somebody wanted to walk me over to the gate, I guess that wouldn't be a problem.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I think Robin froze.
Oh yeah.
It's not me.
Yeah, it's everybody else. Robin's internet was crapping out on him last night, and it seems to be doing it again tonight.
Ah.
He is going
There we
at
go.
1 frame a minute on Discord video right now.
Yeah,
Oh, there.
Oh, you're better
It's
now.
working now.
You're better now.
Nothing happened on my end, so great.
Nice.
Oh, great.
Professional stream, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Anyway, anybody who wants to can kind of walk over to. It's a brisk little walk over to the gate, where
Yes, I'll walk over.
there are definitely there's like a path lined with torches that she
Yeah, I
just
would
kind
go
of
with
heads
her.
down. Okay. Yeah, I imagine you all would just kind of tag along. It's a
Yeah.
short walk.
Suppose we all could, yeah.
When she arrives at just kind of like standing outside these large wooden doors, you see there are a couple of guard-looking individuals standing in front of it. He just kind of waves. One of them seems to be like a very large and broad red dragonborn man. Prospective student. Yeah, that would name. Blackmire, Julia Blackmire. He just kind of like furrows his brow. Just kind of leans over and whispers to the other one. He just kind of, no, you wouldn't have heard of me coming here from anybody in my family. I'm just here out of my own volition. Right. And the rest of you?
No.
No, they were just
No.
seeing me. Yeah. Okay. She can come in. Just kind of like, oh.
Will you be coming back out tonight, Julia?
I will if I can. If I cannot, I will try to be out in the morning and speak to the lot of you then, before we go.
Alright.
That sounds fine.
She just kind of looks over at the guards. Is it good will I be able to do that? I assume. Okay. Hopefully that's good enough.
Well, best of luck.
Sounds like it will have to be.
Sounds like it.
Just kind of like looks apologetically in all of your directions, but just kind of nods and heads in. And the guys just kind of close it behind her. She should be able to come back out. If not tonight, then by tomorrow morning.
Thank you, sir. You know, in a good place is for us to stay on the outside.
Handful of inns and taverns that way. If you like drink, then the one on the left. Just kind of points to a building that you can see from this distance, pretty brightly lit from the inside. Kind of bands of red and orange cloth just kind of festooning the whole thing.
Let's go to that one.
Gets a little rowdy, but
That should be
the ale's good and it flows freely.
good enough.
I like ale! You guys see Jen Sung just kind of standing there,
Okay.
Yes,
well,
Captain.
holding her cat.
He brought the cat. Oh, good.
What was I gonna do? Leave him on the airship? No?
You know, I'm not gonna question that. Let's get some ale. Yeah.
Yes, I think let's get the table inside and perhaps... No, still not yet. After we have a word with Julia, I'll have some more input as to where I want to go after this. Perhaps we can discuss our possible future endeavors with each other then.
Yeah. I think that'd be good.
You guys make your way over there.
Yeah.
You see the name of this place. This place just seems to be more like a watering hole for the most part. There are other like proper inns where you can go and stay a night, but this place is mostly like you go here to drink and then you go sleep somewhere else.
Okay.
It seems to be called the Red Ribbons, and again, there are red ribbons and also orange and yellow and brown and all these different dyed colors that you don't usually see in a lot of other places. Seems to be kind of a very bizarre-esque feel here. Very open air kind of a structure, but lots of folks inside. There's different songs and music being played in some corners that you can kind of see. There are a couple of different crowds. There's not really like a proper bar that you can see. It seems mostly like kind of a off-Broy house kind of feel where you sit down at a table and people come by and bring you whatever it is you want.
Perhaps get a table in the corner, yes?
That sounds fine with me.
Yeah, you kind of sit. You find this halfling who's playing basically like a double-necked acoustic lute, and it's pretty quiet and mellow compared to the rest of the place, which is why there aren't very many people sitting by him. You kind of post up in that corner. Eventually, somebody comes by, and you guys can help yourself to some drinks.
Some cheap stuff, please.
Yeah, they have a wide variety of the very not cheap to the very cheap. So you can get something that's maybe a little bit above the, maybe not Rolling Rock, but also maybe not like a craft beer, like something kind of in the middle there.
And like 4 silver.
Yeah, you can get a round of drinks.
A round of
For
drinks.
the,
Round of drinks. Round of
I've
drinks.
got it.
the
Round of drinks.
the staff doesn't even bat an eye at Millicent there.
Yes.
And looking around, there are some straight up children in here, and like some of them you're like, where are your parents? And some of them you're like, oh, there's your parents over in the corner vomiting. This, perhaps not quite as morally upright as you would hope, but
Celeste, I think this might explain a few things for you.
It does. I don't like it, but it does.
Jensung will happily drink cinders.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
She pretty much just takes hers, takes his, and then just kind of like nods, like, "I'm gonna go take care of the hopper, and then find a place to sleep.
okay.
Have fun."
Yes, of course.
She kind of wanders over to where somebody else is playing music, and you see her just kind of stand there, like, for a little bit, and then she kind of wanders outside.
Well, comrades, we've made our voyage.
Yes, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Now leaves the question of what we're doing now, or if we plan to just continue on our separate ways.
I think at the very least we'll be going one more flight with each other.
Oh yes,
Probably.
probably. Well, what all do you need to get through?
I can really go anywhere, so I'm just here to kind of explore. So whatever sounds interesting is where I'm heading to, is pretty much what I've been doing.
Minus Shavik, though, right?
Yes, I mean, I would like to get off as soon as possible, but if we need to do some things, maybe we can do that fast and get out of here.
Cinder, as I recall, that's kind of the opposite intention of yours.
I have a few places I want to go, and this one is the closest, and to my current understanding, less likely to cause my death than the others.
Is that
That's
so?
debatable. Where
We
you
want
want to go
see
is very
giant
dangerous.
scorpion people.
I want to see the mountains south of that.
Which is also a dangerous journey.
Big old spires there next to the big old crack in the ground.
I actually would
Good.
like to see the crack in the ground, but I know that
Well, yes, I would
dangerous.
too, but it's dangerous and terrifying. Yes.
We definitely need to prep for that. So if we wanted to go elsewhere
Yes.
before coming back around here,
No, I would love to. I would love to have more potions if we're gonna go somewhere so dangerous.
and water.
And water, yes. I don't suppose you can make that.
I would need
Okay,
to take some time over the
quests.
next week to prepare it, but
Question for Wanderer for the future, because I'm an Outlander. It says I can find food or water up to 5 people each day, but it has to be kind of like a place that offers that kind of things. Do you think I could find watering? places with water, if I'm familiar with the area.
You would know that for most of Shavirik, that's not going to be possible.
Okay. I just want to confirm that. Yeah. We definitely need to stock up on water and food if we're gonna travel south and
Currently, Tycon, in general, interests me. Just because, kind of, I always wanted to go there. But also, what was it? The Crumbling Mountains, is that right? Up there on the ladder.
That's the other one that I would be interested in. but
Oh,
it feels
Rest,
We
you
can't
were.
hear you,
Boy.
Rest.
silly to-
That was.
Truly sound like a warforged.
Yeah.
yeah.
it's
Committing
gonna
to the
be
bit.
gonna be awesome.
So you're
The
good now.
Crumbling Peaks are the other place I would be interested in going. It just seemed foolish to go to the ladder, come down here, and go back. But if that's
Well, I don't know
what
about
everyone decides-
foolish. It seems less dangerous. And also, I think,
I mean, if the concern is the
Right,
journey
that's-
from here to the Spirelands to the south, could we not just pay the hopper?
I was imagining that we could just pay the hopper to
That
take us
might make
wherever we want to go.
That would, I mean, if our concern for Shavirik was the desert, we could just fly over it. Seeing as hoppers were the main path up to that monastery that we
That's
passed.
it's not really my only concern about the desert. But also, I think the Crumbling Mountains thing, there may be like a job involved in all that. If I remember correctly. The person that's in charge of the island. One moment. Saint Esme, is that it?
St. Baranon.
Saint Baranon. Oh, there it is, yes. Bellatar stack? I thought I remember there was possibly like a...
Yeah, you probably have
Yes,
heard.
she sends adventurers to investigate the place. So I imagine there might be a job involved. Like, more payment would be nice to prepare for other places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my other point of concern is finding jobs and money to fund our possible ventures if we don't want to go
Yeah.
immediately to the big, large, and expansive and deadly desert.
Yes. I mean, so first of all, we're gonna have to pay the captain to take us somewhere like tomorrow.
Do we have any? I know Julia handled that, but do we have any concept of how much those usually run for? I have money on me, but not.
I think it was definitely upwards of 100 usually.
Yeah, so for
Hers
hoppers,
was 75, but that was
For-
Julia finding this place.
for hoppers, it's a little bit different. They pretty much can just go on a pilot by pilot basis based on how much time, because it's very rare that you can just rent the usage of one. You have to rent the pilot's time as well, because they usually will fly their own. So it can run you anywhere from 50 to question mark, depending on how long the journey is, how dangerous it could be, how good the pilot is.
How good the pilot?
For gridliners, it's usually, in most of the places that you guys have been to, it's pretty much a flat fee based on the number of passengers, which can usually be anywhere between 20 and like 45, 50 a person. But that usually gets you across one of the straight shots. So you imagine here it's probably a little cheaper because the journeys are pretty short.
Do we have any idea how far gridliners can go?
You probably wouldn't. Rook
on the
and
gridliner.
Celeste would know a little bit more detail. That it depends on the gridliner. It depends on which nation.
The Selton
built
Block
it.
ones can go for quite some time, if I remember, just they're slow.
There just seems to be a fairly nice sequence of gridliner docks straight north of us, all the way up to St. Baranon, if that would be cheaper than hoppering back. but then you have that huge long chunk from Farport to
Oh yeah.
St. Baranon,
There is not a
which is why I
dock.
asked how far they can go.
There's not a dock on the north side of Farport there, because the only vessel that would be able to get that far would be a Zeltenbrock gridliner.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, the ones from the islands go, I believe, a maximum of 1.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's where I was, and then I took a hopper to get to the other continent. So no matter what, we would need a hopper to get anywhere else, unless we
Good.
go back the way we came.
Personally, I think to fit all of our best interests, well, I guess not all of us. So Celeste, I don't really know if the Crumbling Mountains interest you at all.
Can you refresh me on what was there? I know you mentioned a job, but I missed some of the details on that.
1 second. Well, first of all, it has a number of temples up there. There's also the Crumbling Mountains themselves are constantly, slowly breaking away and falling into the depths. It's kind of strange phenomenon. I'm just kind of interested to see what's up with that.
Fair enough, okay. Well, much of what I'm hoping to do, I guess, is similar to what Millicent wants to do. I want to explore, but more for research purposes, so
Possibly find something out there that other people have yet to figure out.
yeah, and that's kind of the game plan. Just look for, I mean, no. There are things books just can't tell you, and I'm just kind of trying to learn as much as I can, so I'm fine with that.
And again, some of this for me, my mind might change a little bit depending on what Julia tells me tomorrow. I may want to hop around these little islands down here for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think any which way I'd like to go back up to the ladder. Or again, west, but there's no specific reason for that one. West just sounds cool, and there's the island down there that switched to the powers that be, and there's a whole thing going on there.
An island. Would I have any idea of the island that switched the powers that be? Is that
Yeah,
recent?
that's one of the 5 domains of the Fivefold Kingdom in Tychon.
Okay.
It's the largest geographically, but also the least populous. To the southwest there, where Mistreach is,
Oh, okay.
called Runi Talarian. You have heard lately that the leader of that island is one of the 5 Elsinore siblings. She recently converted to the new church, and shortly after the Tarstacks declared the powers that be to be the official religion of the latter, she followed suit with just her kingdom there.
I see. Okay.
Then are you just looking for like weird shit to go and see?
No, the two
Oh.
mountain ranges that interest me both are tied to the crystals that Rockchild and myself carry.
Alright. I was gonna mention the Dawn Crypts, but those are
My-
like pyramids and stuff there.
I'm interested in finding out certain things and then heading back down to the depths. So the areas that
Oh.
I'm trying to go are to find places that can answer my questions. So for now, it's those 2 mountains and something that I don't think any of you would want to do. So that one shall wait,
Alright.
unless you want to go to Farburg or perhaps Drexler.
Sure. At some point. Not anytime soon, but
That's kind of what I was hoping to talk to Julie about and see just how likely I am to survive the experience. But
I can tell you from my experience, it'll be
limited.
questionable.
Yeah. I also have interest in going back to Sultanbrock, but for you, that'd be a bit wary, so I'm not gonna jump at that.
I'm fine going back to Suttonbrook.
would like to visit.
I just don't like the place, but I'll go there.
Yeah, it seems.
I still have things that I need to take care of there, so if we decide to travel as a group, and we all end up wanting to go there sometime down the line, I will accompany you.
Well, sometime I would like to, but seems like not for a while. That's why I was interested in the mountains first. And the ones here seemed convenient, already being on the same continent, but if everybody prefers the latter, so be it.
I think for the moment, just for the sake of Mills here.
Yeah, I mean, I am interested in what. Pull out my cube again. Like, I am very interested to figure out what this and your crystal has to do, and that seems to answer our questions.
Well, supposedly, the mountains that I'm now understanding you come from, there's a dead Leviathan in there somewhere.
Yeah, so that does pique my interest. You know what? Maybe we can stop by there. We should be fine. We just have to avoid all the barbarians and all the kobolds and all the
I would really
worms.
prefer to have more potions before we go to a place with a dead Leviathan that's surrounded by scorpion people.
That
Yeah,
as well.
That's why we fly there. So we don't
Scorpion
have
people were
Scorpion
elsewhere.
Oh yeah, that
Oh.
was like Tamarand, or no, like
Yeah, that was like north of
Spires,
Tamarand.
Fire Mountains. Yeah.
That's why if we just fly south from here to the mountains, we don't have
Yeah,
to
you
worry
know, if
about
we-
the
if
vastness
we
of
can-
the desert. Or
If
whatever
we
lives
can
there.
convince to get the hopper, I think we'll be pretty successful. Because
It-
I've kind of been in these areas, so at least I can tell you guys what to watch out for, and we have a higher likelihood of surviving. We just need to stock up before we head down south. If we're gonna do that.
I don't think we have enough money to do all that, but alright.
I don't
I don't think so
either.
either.
You guys
I
do
am
know
running-
that Julia is going to pay you, or at least she said she would.
That is
yes,
true.
that's right.
That is true. We'll see.
Once again, let's wait until tomorrow.
Yeah, but I think it's good to kind of see where we're all at this point in time.
Yes, yes.
Cinder would kind of pull out the book that he had the flowers in, flip to a page in the back. From my understanding, there should be a Leviathan somewhere on Shavirik. Possibly more than one. That's a little unclear. And the High Priestess mentioned that one in particular. So that's the most direct result that I can think of for at least one of the things that Millicent and I are interested in.
We're talking about the Tempest Mountains, is that correct?
Yeah, all the way south.
Yeah.
What?
Now, I'm not sure if the one that the notes that I have referring to is the same one that the High Priestess was referring to. I'm not super clear on what these things even are, which is kind of what I'm hoping to go find out.
Alright.
There
I'll
should
get back to
apparently
you with
also
my
be-
opinions tomorrow.
You guys see this.
Rook broached a line of questioning and didn't like the way it went.
Yep.
You see a person kind of making their way around various tables now in this place, and you think at first glance you think it's probably like a halfling or something, and then you realize no, it's a human child, maybe like 13 or 14, walking around. He's got like a little piece of paper that he's reading off of, and just kind of yelling at all these different tables, and eventually he comes around to you guys, and he goes, "News update, this just in from God's Hold. The High Priestess has issued an edict formally denouncing the Tarsak family, along with Ophelia Elsanar, as traitors to the church, restricting travel accordingly." And he kind of wanders on. "News update from God's Hold."
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I guess not.
You see, at another table, this individual just kind of like spits his drink out at this kid who's walking by. He's like, "Sir, I'm just reading it. I'm not. I didn't." He kind of ducks as a glass like flies over him.
Don't shoot the messenger, you savages. Well, that's concerning news.
Yeah. Well, that might put a damper on travel for a bit.
Well, to God's hold, yes.
Yeah.
Why?
But I guess we can
Just to
avoid
God's
that.
hold.
Why would that put a damper on it? Isn't it just obstructing those individuals from traveling? Or not, Tostax?
I don't
Or was
think
it everyone from the region?
I think everyone from the region.
That's what it
Yeah,
sounds like.
usually with these political things, it's more of a
Oh, right.
everyone gets hit as opposed to the leader just getting hit. It would be nice if,
Yes, sorry. Cinder, this is politics. Sorry.
So
Yeah.
the only other way into God's Hold is from the Seltenbrock side, which they also don't like each other?
No, they're like... Seltenbrock and God's hold like each other well enough.
Oh, those were the old churches. That's right.
Yeah, they're together.
Yeah, you know, it's civilization rules. When you denounce someone, your open borders contract dissolves instantly.
This is just much simpler when everyone could go anywhere because water.
No, agreed. I'm sure it is very much simpler, but
I didn't particularly want to go back to God's hold anytime soon anyway, so it
No, that's
doesn't
not what
really...
I need.
Although, now if we want to go to Seltenbrock, we have to take a long way around.
Yeah. Hmm.
I would say there could have been one aspect of interest in God's Hold, at least, was if any of you had not yet had audiences with the High Priestess. She was able to aid me, and perhaps if you are looking for something, she could help you too.
I'm not really interested.
neither am I.
I'm desperate enough.
Much of the clergy isn't as big
We're
a
not
fan
there
of
yet.
the new
Okay.
leadership anyhow.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if I like the High Priestess, but yeah.
Politics are a strange thing.
Unfortunately,
They
The fact
are.
that you disagree
They
with
are,
someone
yeah.
else's politics is enough of a reason for you to not wish for their aid.
But that's
Well, I don't know really what she could help me with any either.
Fair enough.
And most of the time, I kind of do things on my own. This is a little different for me this time, but good to have people on a long journey that can pick my ass up when I get
Understandable.
stabbed.
yes, and which you seem to do that often.
It seems like it. Usually they don't hit me this often, but
Is that the case? Is that okay?
no, usually I'm not seen first.
Oh. Well, I'm
just
here to
believe
protect
you.
you guys.
Thank you, Mills.
That one I believe. Well, just concerning news aside, I guess. I'm gonna guess a lot of this area around here is just more of the inns and taverns, maybe a shop or two.
Probably. Willing to take a look around real quick? Otherwise, I may just lock myself in my room and try to work on a few things.
Potions?
Something like that.
Okay. Let me know if you need help.
Okay.
Why do you have to phrase it like that?
Because it makes you upset.
Oh, Russ.
Yeah.
Alright, see you all in a bit. I think. Depends on
drink
when
more
Julia
of the
comes
ale.
back.
Yeah.
You
Go.
guys kind of take a look
Yeah.
around and wander, and it seems like, yeah, basically general stores. You guys notice that there are a number of horses and carts taking just like a lot of raw like stone and metal south to the wall. Squeak, squeak. Says Hubble.
Blame Russ.
It seems
You
like
know,
they're
you
taking a
gotta
lot of stuff down there, but as the evening wears on, it becomes clear that Julia is probably not going to come back tonight.
Whatever inn that we choose to stay at, I'll go talk to the person that's up front or something. Just ask, like, is there any, like work to do around here?
You see that the person that you're talking to is this kind of middle-aged dwarf man, like kind of like a reverse mohawk going on. You can probably find somebody to talk to at the gates over there. Then if they need help, seems like
Are they all for work?
Yeah, that's where most of this is. They'll either need somebody to transport stuff over to Alakesh or down to the wall for repair efforts, or take trainees down that way for defense. I also heard there may be some beasties that need solid thwacking somewhere on the road between here and Alakesh. There's always stuff.
Alright.
If you want to make a
repair efforts. What?
Yeah, well, that wall. You're not from these parts, is you?
No, but I've seen a map.
Yeah, the wall blocks off all those barbarian hordes from coming up. It also blocks off all the lizard people, the kobolds, goblins, elemental beasts, giant worms, feral camels, your usual garden variety cactus fiends, that kind of stuff. And they like to blow holes in the wall where they can, and we like to make it so that they can't do that. So,
Great.
Did Rook set off alone for this, or are we with you?
you can be with them if you
you can be at the same place. Like later
imagine
that
if
night
they're
or something.
I imagine if they're just trying to put rocks together, I could probably be of a pretty significant help there.
Well, yeah, if you're looking for a buck and you got time to spare, they're always taking whatever help they can get down there.
I mean, if you all
how
worried
much are
about
we?
money,
Well, how much are we talking?
I don't really know.
Okay, I think that would be more in my.
If you
like to do
want,
that first.
if your concern is the amount of time, or is your concern the amount of money? Because either way, if you want fast and you want a lot of money, then ask them about the monsters, because you look like you can probably, skibbity bop and.
I don't think the captain wants to be here that long. That's just my assumption.
Oh, you're talking about her? You see, Jensung is just passed out in a chair.
That's her.
Yeah.
Is her cat with her?
He's somewhere around here. I gave him some food.
All right.
There he is. It's like, okay, I'll just leave you there.
Yeah. All right. I guess we'll ask her in the morning how long she's comfortable staying. I mean, if you all would like to make some money by killing monsters or killing rocks, then
Yeah, or they usually are looking for escorts for the caravans with regards to the whole monster issue. We take a lot of stuff back and forth from here to Alakesh.
is there anything noteworthy about Alakesh?
Oh, there's just a whole bunch of blacksmiths down there, and the magic anvil and all that.
The magic anvil?
Yeah, apparently there's like you all. How familiar are you with the powers that be?
Yes.
Oh well, one of
Power?
their guys I think was like a blacksmith or something, and he's got like a relic that's associated with him, and it's like a super duper forged anvil type setting situation that they've got over there.
But the relics here, artifacts from the powers that be.
Yeah. Most of the headmasters of the different fighting schools usually have something like that.
Ooh. I imagine those are in the.
Yeah, they're inside the city there, which you can usually only get in if you're training.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got political business or other things that you need to do, I suppose you could try. But or if you want to study to be a fighter of some kind.
Oh, not really. No. All right. Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
4, 5 rooms. Did Captain already pay for hers?
Yeah, she got her room. That's that she's using it.
4 more then,
Okay.
please.
That'll be like 2 gold.
Yeah, that's fine. I got it.
Anybody want like a big one, like a suite? We got a couple of those too.
Sure.
Oh, 3 gold then.
All right.
Okay. I can put in some money.
Do you want to cover one of those?
Total of 3. Total of 3. If you're just gonna get one of the suites, we got 2 of them. If you want 2 of them, then you can pay 4 for all of it.
I want a suite.
It's got its own bathtub. It's got a little kitchenette situation, a coffee pot.
A bathtub.
Excellent.
I will also pay for it.
I think we'll take them all. Yes.
All right. Well, there's 2 suites, and then there's you can get 2 regular rooms too if you want, unless you want to share. I don't know what.
Celeste, you got yours. I'll take a suite if you don't mind, Millicent.
No, I'll take a regular room. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Russ appears to be gone.
Sit.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
I assume he'll take a regular room because he doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
And
Is regular room
entered
2?
stasis already.
Yep, he's already powered down. He's just standing there.
That was me last week where I just like, I'm just gonna hop off and back on again because it's not worth me waiting this whole time. I know it's not
there he
connected.
is.
Oh, he came back online. Okay. Hello again,
there
Plant
he
Man.
is.
What a strange sound that he.
Bum, 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 bum.
I'll just. Well, I'll go over to the captain. Just, Millicent, can you please help me?
Oh, yeah. Hover to her. Like,
Go to
I got
the
you,
room,
Captain.
Just kind of deposit her.
Yeah. It's like, alright, bye, Captain.
These rooms are nice. Even the non-fancy rooms are, it's like a Hyatt, It's got like a nice little setup here. They all have a little wash basin that you can use, and lots of little storage compartments and things. Chairs, a little table. There's even like a very rudimentary like room service menu. You can see that like each of these tables has like a string coming out of the wall next to it, and it seems to be wired up and through the floor of the building, so that when you pull on it, it rings a little bell behind his counter there downstairs. So if you need anything, he can come up and bring it to you. It's very fancy for the area. You get the feeling that they probably get a lot of tourists around this part, or at least a lot of visitors. So the suite is also very, very nice. They're kind of like penthouses. They take up like a whole corner of one of the floors of the building here. You've got a very large feather bed and a little separate room with a big tub that's already filled with water and seems to have some kind of magical heating element to it as well. Pretty nice accommodations here. There's like a desk that you could use, Rook, as well if you wanted to.
I shall. I guess looking at my stuff, can I just make a potion for the night?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just do that this time. I won't do any shady business.
Oh,
For
really?
now.
Not this night.
Not right now.
Okay.
I'll simply make a potion.
Wow.
I know. And then wait for the morning. That's it.
All right.
Also,
Mhm.
real quick, Robin's initial character, Lizard Man, he only told his problems and like the region-specific problems to the High Priestess, correct?
Uh, told so I think most of it to Cinder.
Yeah, I think Cinder was kind of there in the moment after, so
Okay.
yeah, I don't
I was
think
looking at
I
yeah.
don't believe that he shared all that information with you all because
I didn't
we
take note of
asked
that.
him
So
not to.
Yeah,
yeah,
I knew it was just the High Priestess. I didn't know if anyone else had it, so
Yeah.
good to
And-
know.
yeah. I was trying to think if Cinder ever told us also, because it could go both ways. So
Russ, you're
Can't hear you, Russ.
that face,
just
that's that's
It just froze on.
it's like, yep.
See you moving
You
around.
were saying?
I didn't even disconnect it. That's on the internet. Did it for me.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Um, Yeah, Cinder hadn't brought it up yet, or hadn't really been
Yeah.
in context to.
Nah, okay. Just confirming, so we're not all.
All right. Well, that evening,
Cinder does not hide things from people, but he is also not super forthcoming without being given reason.
Fair.
that evening, in your suite, Celeste, you get a knock at the door. Pretty late. It does wake you up.
I'll get up and grab my spear and at least just have it with me and open the door.
You see Julia.
Ah,
Got her hair like all the way down, just kind of wearing a very simple kind of dark maroon dress. Got like a little side satchel as well. Might I come in for a bit?
yes, yes, of course, come in.
Oh, somebody has a dog. Brianna steps
Yeah,
in.
one moment.
Silent dog
For the rec-
scolding.
Yeah, for the record, I took away the wubba, and he whined at me for like 5 minutes, and then he found the other squeaky toy. Continue.
Just kind of, it's a very nice room that you have here.
Yes, well, I wasn't going to grab it until I heard that there was a bath, and then I immediately
Yeah.
got it.
I took one as well. Right. Well, wanted to talk to you first because well, first things first. She kind of reaches in and pulls out a large sack of money and hands it to you.
Thank you.
That is for. At this point, I'm gonna say the other three of you, please deafen.
Okay.
That is for everyone, but you are free to distribute it among them as you see fit. And you can look inside and see 750 gold.
Jesus.
I'm giving that to you because I trust you the most with it. Millicent is a child. Cinder, I don't think understands the concept, and I don't really trust Rook much with it.
These are all very fair assessments, and thank you for thank you for trusting me with that.
So feel free to tell them whatever amount you want.
Hey, well, I'll figure that out. But yes, I'll take those into account.
You know that my father and his twin brother are both communications people for Black Mine Industries, as well as espionage, corporate spies, as well as just political ones. And I spent a lot of time learning from them and developed a lot of skills, I guess, observational skills that have been somewhat useful to me. And, you know, it took me a while to remember where I had seen your face before. It is a little bit different now, but you are playing a rather dangerous game, I think.
I'm aware, but the only other game I have is really one that involves sleeping in dirt.
That's fair, but nobody wants to be worm food.
Correct.
I obviously am not in the interested in saying or doing anything about what I know, but I just wanted to let you know that if somebody with my rather limited skill set has been able to piece some things together, that perhaps you might want to try and, I don't know, step up your game a little bit.
No, I
understand that well, I don't understand, but I somewhat understand that difficult thing that I'm asking you to do by doing that, but knowing you now, that's as little as I do, but I get the feeling that you're probably going to want to face some of this eventually. And if and when the time comes that you feel like you're ready to do so, I would, for one, obviously caution you not to partake in it alone. And for another, I think you might find some things that you are looking for if you travel to Almana.
I see. And yes, thank you. I know this disguise. I say disguise. I'm wearing the same goddess that I've always represented. But in the time that I met you, I, for without going into it, just didn't have a lot of resources to go with. So I
That I can
do
empathize
appreciate. Yeah. And let me do say that I do apologize for what Godsold put you through when you mentioned that you had been basically sent there as a hostage. Well, again.
It's alright. I would never have been able to get out of Zeldenbrach if it weren't for that, so. They just made the mistake of sending me somewhere that was a little bit easier to leave.
Yeah, I do have some questions about your family, because I was concerned with them long before, but of course they have a very tight grasp on their information and what information gets out. But of course, they might even keep that information from you and maybe keep it up to the higher leadership, of course, and I would understand that.
Well, there's a lot of information that they don't know that I have, so, fire away.
Do you know what their current plan is? They seem to be on, I know they have their own agenda, and Godsold and Seltenbrock were allied for as long as I can remember, but at the same time, very cautious with them. I don't know what happened during the surge and the consequences of that, but I guess any information like that, if you're privy to. I know that's very generalized, but didn't expect this conversation to come about.
Well, what I can tell you is they are looking for more allies, and building and expanding and growing their power. Their alliance with Godshold was certainly the first step in a long path to, I would assume, some kind of supremacy. My great uncle is very ambitious, as is my whole family.
Mhm.
And ever since he basically deposed the monarchy in Zeltenbach and took hold all those years ago, building us into a superpower in terms of technology and magic, information, knowledge. I don't know what he's looking for, but I know that he needs a lot of friends to find it.
I see.
I think he has opened some lines of communication. Some of the people in Icon, some of the Elsinore siblings, as well as Emperor Sartor in Almana. And, well, I don't know. It's been a long time since there was any international war. And I don't know if there's a precedent for that, but if I was a Tostak right now, I would be very scared.
I guess in regards to that, have you heard the recent news?
Oh, yes. I'm surprised it took that long, to be honest.
As am I. There,
This High Priestess is perhaps not as pacifist like
yes, I was both grateful and offended not at you, but at what had gone around after I was deposed. Mostly in that it was actually the opposite case. I wanted more peaceful means to continue the powers that be, wanted to learn from them. But then, come to find out, I had been made out to be the warmonger, and it was only a matter of time until she started making action.
yeah.
It greatly concerns me. And,
We like to think that the church is a place free from politics, but it is anything but that, huh?
of course. Well, on one hand, at least I can continue the research I've been wanting to do, but at the same time now, a power, a political power is now making stances in ways that could ultimately harm a lot of people, and I do for that myself.
Yeah. I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know what my family is planning. I just know what I've heard and didn't want me to. It all points to a lot of rising tension and a lot of strife. A lot of innocent people.
Yeah. Do you think that with all the lines of communication your family has opened up, they're trying to play both sides right now?
I think they're trying their hardest to make as many people as are able to choose a side.
I see. Oh, God. Well, I do appreciate your discretion. I I know I walk a very fine line in a very dangerous game, and it's only a matter of time until someone else pins it together who I am. So I'll take your advice with that. But is there anything you want to know from me, or do you need any more assistance from me? Because I am planning to continue the research I had and hopefully see if there's anything, at least I say learn more, but there's a lot going on and a lot of changes. So if I can if I can be a step ahead of that, I'm going to try.
I think that would be enough. The only thing that I could ask of you is keep an eye on Millicent.
Of course, I, in another time, I have full respect for, you know, you or Millicent, just wanting to explore the world. You should want to do that. It's a big place. It's very interesting. That's why I researched part of it. At the same time, though, it's a very dangerous, tumultuous, and it's a powder keg at this point. And I'm glad you're here, and I'll do what I can to make sure Vincent doesn't get hurt.
I don't think the outside world is going to be much of a problem for her.
No,
Strikes me
no,
as
she's
a pretty tough one, but I am worried about Rook. He cares a great deal for the both of you, I think. And I think she would be easily impressioned to do some things that she perhaps ought not to do.
that's that part. I can just say that I'll certainly try, but she's very acceptable, so I'm going to do my best with that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I should be aware of, or it's...
Just be careful. I wouldn't go back to
I-
God's Hold anytime soon if I were you, but I don't think you were planning on it.
Oh, I certainly wasn't.
Apart from that, I'm sure we'll see each other again sometime soon.
Yeah, I know a little bit about this Tanagra, but as far as like the inner workings here, I have no doubt that you'll be safe. But do you have any idea what you'll be doing here? Research or just soldier or?
I'm going to train. I have some skills that I did not quite let on to the rest of you while we were traveling together for my own reasons, but there are a number of masters here who I think I could learn a lot from, so going to do that. Because I think an ill wind is on the horizon, and I would like to be ready for it whenever it crashes into us.
Yeah, that's as wise a move as you could make. And I would, well, you said your uncle and father, communications and espionage, but we did move fairly quickly, and I'd be very surprised if they were able to pinpoint this very quickly, so...
Well, now that I'm here, it won't matter. I am formally registered as a student here, and that means that my family ties are no longer binding, and if I want to stay, I can, and they will protect me.
Oh, that's very good. Well, I don't have access to it yet, but when I eventually get sent in, I'll make sure to check in with you, and need anything, what to check in on thing, I can at least try.
That would be good. Yeah, I believe, like I said, when you're ready, but I believe that if a friend of yours from your old life still lives, and I believe she made her way to Almana to try and lay low for some time. And I would caution you against traveling there yet. It's a very, very nasty place, and I don't think she's quite ready to emerge yet either, but if and when you get the ability to contact people from afar, I would suggest reaching out.
Okay, yeah, that's... Thank you. I truly appreciate it. Poof.
And that is, I believe, the sum total of everything everything helpful I can tell you.
Well, it's plenty of information. Trust me, I couldn't ask for more, aside from... Apparently I need to go get a cloak, or maybe do
Yeah.
better with my hair than a quick, dye job, but
That might be something that you can ask Rook about, perhaps.
The cloak or the dye?
Or something else. I don't know. He seems to be a sneaky boy.
Yeah, there's that. I'm also afraid of the answer, so we'll see.
Alright, well, I want to go and speak to the others as well, but... Thank you for the help.
Well, yes, and thank you. Thank you for the information and discretion. So,
Oh, best of luck.
yes, may you have protection here.
And may you have protection wherever you're going.
We'll see.
Just kind of pats you on the shoulder and then goes for like an awkward hug and
Pat, pat.
lots of back pats, yeah, and
Yeah.
just kind of makes her way out. You're good.
Oh, well,
Everybody is
I think
back.
I'm the only one who noticed.
Well, that's all
Robin
right.
are not back.
That's all right
There are
because first, you can stay undeafened for the moment here. But
Okay.
Cinder, there is a knock at your door,
Oh.
Okay.
and you just are there.
Yeah,
And you
just-
see Julia standing outside.
Oh wow.
Hello.
What room was Millicent in?
The other normal one over there.
Do you want to come with me? I want to talk to the two of you.
Sure.
Thank you. Kinda
Follow her
walks
out.
over there. Yeah. All right, Robin and Maddie, you can deafen yourselves again until you get the thumbs up.
Welcome back, Robin. Goodbye.
Goodbye again. Yeah.
Millicent, you hear a knock at your door.
Goes up to the door. Hello?
Hello,
Oh.
it's me. I wanted to talk to you and Cinder because I'm not sure that I'm going to have a chance to tomorrow. So, can we come in for a bit?
Of course. Just like
Thank you.
wide open.
Kind of closes the door.
Awkwardly cram into this, I'm assuming, hotel room size
Yeah.
little thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
First things first. I gave Celeste the gold of your payment.
Oh. Okay.
So she will distribute that to you guys tomorrow.
Mhm.
But I know that you guys probably had some questions that you wanted to ask and information that you wanted to get, and so here I am. Ask away.
Hmm. Well, I didn't have too many questions. I kind of just wanted to learn more about your homeland, and I think I want to visit there eventually. Of like, what should I go and see? What should I avoid? Things like that.
Okay. Well, my homeland is fine. It's kind of nice. Usually pretty temperate. I come from Fairburg, which is a enormous city. It spans most of that island, connected to the mainland with an enormous bridge that was built by my great uncle years ago. But if you want to visit there, my first recommendation would be don't go alone. And as far as things that you want to see, I think you would probably like Braddock. It's a strange little town, but there is a man there that I think you could actually specifically could actually learn a lot from.
Ooh. Where is that on the map? Hold up. Let me just. Brought up. Oh, there. So, more in the south?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is situated next to this enormous, strange, magical swamp, and the town's leader is a man named Cameron Hamilton. Rumor has it he is an artist with an axe, and is fond of
Ooh.
leading expeditions in there for finding hidden treasures and killing beasts and teaching whoever wants to learn. He might be a person that you have something in common with. And unlike most of the other leaders of cities and towns around Zeltenbrach, he is not a complete piece of shit.
Oh.
Was there anything you wanted to
very
know
interesting.
about Cinder?
Similar, I guess, but
You're gonna want to
Yes.
Oh
Drop
no,
something.
God. You turned to robot. You turned to
Robot again.
Warforged.
We have fun here, don't we?
Mhm.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
You're good.
Alright. Similar, I guess, although probably a bit less tourist-oriented.
You want to know about the Warforged, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, Drexler would be the one place. If you want to see how they're made, then Drexler, and if you want to see how they're put to use, then either Anrich or Fairberg.
I know that that's where Rusty and the others were originally from. The first ones to escape was from Fairberg.
That's where the bulk of them are.
Others... I see. And you've already warned against me going there openly. You've spent some time... Well, sounds like you spent your whole life there. So, any advice or people you know to make that more plausible?
Yes, I think so, but let me finish up with Millicent first, and we can discuss a little bit more. We can let her get back to sleep. Alright,
Alright.
Millicent, it has been a pleasure traveling with you. I must say, you are not what I expected when I first met you, but I think that's a good thing. And I'm going to give you something. And she just reaches into this pouch that she has and gives you this brown rock that looks like an ear. This is a sending stone.
Oh.
I have the other one.
Oh.
And you can use it once a day. And only you and Cinder will know that you have it. And you can inform the others if you want to, but you don't have to. It can be a secret. But I want you to contact me with that at least a couple times a week, so that I know you're alright.
Okay, I can do that.
And I might not always respond. I might not always be able to respond, but I will try to, usually.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just keep it safe. Don't lose it.
You too. I will try my best. Oh, before you go, I'll kind of whisper in her ear, do you regret leaving your hometown?
No. But where I come from is very, very different than where you come from. My family is a corporation first and a family second. My town is a very cleverly disguised factory that eats people and puts out money. God damn it. My relationships there are more out of pragmatism than any sense of loyalty or love. If I had something that was a real family, a real town, a real community with a sense of togetherness and camaraderie, I would probably regret leaving it. But I do not regret what's behind me. Only that I spent so long there.
Okay. I mean, there's no reason behind that question, you know. I mean,
Of course not.
mhm, mhm.
But let me say,
Thanks for your input. Mhm, mhm.
if you happen to have anybody who you think misses you, this journey you're on, it's good. I think it benefits you. But that doesn't mean you should forget where you came from. And I think Cinder can attest to this as well. We all have things that we have left behind us, on journeys that we have to go on. That sometimes we're called home.
Sometimes home is the reason you have to leave.
That's a lot to chew on. Don't misinterpret me. I think you should journey and see the world as long as you want to, and as much of it as you can stomach. But if you have a place where you know you'll be safe, and around people that care for you, or at least sometimes care for you, that's a rare thing. And it's okay to make use of it, even if other people don't have that luxury.
Okay. Thanks for the advice.
I try. I think you will be fine. And if anybody pisses you off, you can just chop their heads off.
That is true. I can do that.
Alright. You just kind of fucks with your hair. And Alright. I will leave you to your sleep. I will see you
Okay.
around.
Yeah. Safe travels. Stay safe.
I'm not going anywhere.
Bye. Oh yeah, you're not. Well, be safe.
Thank
Don't
you.
get into too much trouble.
You too. Don't forget.
Yes. Yes. It's like puts it in her bag. Safe.
Alright. And they leave. Then you
Yeah.
can deafen yourself again.
All right.
She walks back with you, Cinder.
Okay. Get back. So why did you want me to know that she had the stone?
Of all of the people in this group, I probably trust you the most.
Interesting.
She's a child, and Rook and Celeste have a lot of baggage. But I firmly believe that you will behave exactly as I predict you to, for good or ill. You're a man on a
Fair
mission.
enough.
I
This is true.
I have some concerns for her safety as regards Rook.
Oh, I have some concerns in general with him and his lack of clarity, but I don't see that being a particular threat to her.
I don't think it's going to be
Or
a
is
direct.
it just that she's young and susceptible?
Yes.
I've noticed.
And I know I'm only a little bit older than her, but I have experienced a lot more things than I think she has, and I know what it's like when people try to manipulate you. I don't think Rook necessarily bears her any ill intent. I just think the kinds of things that he wants to do and the kinds of places he wants to go are probably not places that she should be doing. But
She
think
wants
she
to
will.
experience the world. He wants, well, as you said with your family, transactional.
I would ask that you stay with her if you're able to. But I know you have things you want to do. And to that end, I know something about what you're looking for up here, and I suspect that it has something to do with what's going on right now in Fairburg. very few people know about this. And if you were to share any of this with anyone, you would probably be looked at with confusion. And or they might try to get rid of you. But there is a very serious problem in Fairburg right now. There is a plague. That
is shutting down.
It's not affecting the Warforged, it's affecting the people. The humans.
Oh.
And I have overheard some research that my great-uncle has been undertaking in Astor and in Linden, where the School of Magic is, and where they have some of the finest researchers, and Astor is where they have that enormous research center around the conflux point. I think he suspects that the Surge and the conflux points and the Warforged and this plague are all connected in some way. I don't know what that connection is. But I think if my great uncle expects a connection, that there probably is one.
I see. And does it seem natural?
No. People just fade. Slowly, but they just, their minds become foggy, and then they lethargic, and then comatose, and then they're just gone.
Out of character, the stuff that we've had going on down below with the Warforged shutting down that I can talk about since everyone's deafened, does that sound similar? Have
Yep.
they just been slowly fading? Okay. This concerns me. One of the main reasons I am here, and the main reason that I am interested in your home country at all, and why I wanted to find Rusty, was to better understand those who I am modeled after and how they work, because those like me down below, the follow-ons, I guess you could say, have been failing and shutting down. And it is very much like what you described, of slowly watching the energy, the life drift away. And we thought our best estimate was that it was something wrong with how we were interacting with the spirits that give us life. But it sounds identical to this plague that's affecting the non-Warforged of your lands.
Well, there is one aspect of this that I thought on for a long time, that nobody has dared to suggest yet, but I think it's on the back of everyone's mind. And it's something that you're probably not going to be thrilled to hear, but I think if someone was to tabulate the Warforged that are awakening and the people that are dying, there might be a correlation there.
Oh.
And I have no idea what that means, only that it's not good for anyone. And I can tell you that because I know you won't sleep anyway. If this is something, which I'm sure it is, that you want to look into. Astor and Zindan are both places that I would recommend. And then eventually Drexler and Onrich, which is where you can get a closer look at most of the crafting practices that are going on. The Warforged are all made in Drexler. The other things like steam carts and gridliners are made in Onrich, with a lot of Warforged involved. And then eventually Fairburg itself would be a place to go. But, obviously, a lot of caution. And, I will give you something that you certainly should not let anybody else see, especially not Roy. But she pulls out this thin, like, white gold coin that has the BI insignia on it. I should not be giving you this, but there are problems to be solved, and I don't want to solve them. Only members of my family have those. And they only give them to people. Severe work needs to be done. If you wish to gain ingress or information at any BI facility, other than that, and you will get pretty far without being asked any questions.
I see.
I will leave it at your discretion. That obviously you shouldn't be using too much. But
I admittedly still feel I don't fully
you're fucking.
understand your lands and he who twice in the
There you go.
single
You're good.
in the single person time. Admittedly, I still am wrapping my mind around your lands and how best to go about that. There's a part of me that feels that I'm going to be dissected the moment I set foot there, and there's another part of me that feels I will find kindred spirits if I look hard enough, and I don't know which to be.
Both, I think, are true.
And this token, will its meaning not be lessened by your leaving of home?
Most people probably won't know that I even had one to begin with. The only reason I did was because I did some work on my father's behalf, some clandestine work, and it's not specific to me, it's just specific to my family.
I see. Well, I thank you for entrusting me with it.
They can't get me here, so the only danger that it puts is on you.
Fair enough.
But I
and
think
those who would wish me ill, I think its presence will make no difference.
you might be surprised. But, you know, discretion and all that. You know.
Yes. I've heard ill things of Astor. Is that, should I assume the same of Zindan?
No. Zindan is where the Abendroth Academy is, where wizards train. From what I understand, the headmaster is a very, very good man who did in a lot of different research. And a lot of researchers go there because it has a pretty extensive library. I don't know if it will have necessarily exactly what you're looking for, but you will at least find people there.
Seems like the safest place to start, too.
Yes, and it is still in Zeltenbrach, so there are still BI people there trying to dig fingers in. Astor is a little bit more volatile and weird, from what I hear.
I've heard the experiments there were sinister, but with your explanation, I guess I see why. The scaly man that we were traveling with originally,
Clifford.
He was so intent on reaching God's Hold because he wished to speak to the High Priestess, he witnessed people being experimented on. Human experimentation on the conflux points of Astor, doing strange things to try and learn something. I wasn't exactly present for the conversation, and when he explained it to me, he was a bit frazzled. But apparently, well, given what you're describing of this plague, I can understand the urgency, so perhaps they are reaching farther than they should to understand it.
Yeah, I don't know very much about that place, but I do know that its research leader, Sabas Nalor, is a little bit of a odd man.
Understood.
Was about all that I think I had for you.
So all that's left for you then is to talk to Rook.
Yes, indeed.
I suppose I should wish you luck with that.
We'll take whatever luck you can do.
I suspect he will have many more questions than I.
Yes, and I will have a lot of answers for him, and I believe these answers are going to lead him on a very, very dangerous path, so...
Knowing his proclivity to lead and Celeste and Millicent's likelihood to follow, are any of the answers you're going to give him things that it would benefit me to be forewarned of?
I suspect he bears a lot of ill will for anybody with the last name Blackmire that isn't me. I don't know exactly why. Ben Tastak knew him pretty well. I did not. Do not. But I think he has an especially troubled past that BI is responsible for most of that trouble. So I suspect if you follow him, you will find yourself in Zaltenbrock sooner than later. And you will find yourself in the midst of the nasty things, which you may or may not want to be a part.
That sounds like exactly what I was hoping to be warned of. Thank you.
I will say, some of the people for whom he bears ill will, if not all of them, deserve it.
Rook makes me uncomfortable, but I'm reasonably good at reading people, and he doesn't come off as bad to me, just complicated.
I think you're on the money. I think the only one of you that isn't especially complicated is probably Millicent. And God's love her for it.
Perhaps I'm underestimating Celeste.
I guarantee you that you are. But that is something for her to tell you about when she decides it's time.
If. But
If.
fair enough.
Alright, I should be off. Thank you.
Best of luck, both with Rook and with your upcoming training.
Thank you. Best of luck
I
with
shall be
Rook.
sure to. Fair enough. I'll be sure to remind Millicent from time to time in case
Please
she
do.
does not contact you.
I want to make sure that the good bead on where all of you are, if you stay together.
And I'm sure you will get quite the story when coming from her.
In 25 words or less. Alright.
Thank you. Yahoo, nobody looking.
Yoo-hoo! Hello.
We need
Hello.
Robin.
Hello.
We got Maddie, we need Robin.
There he
He
is.
is.
Well,
He
he's-
noticed.
Hello.
Rook, you hear
Hello.
a knock at your door.
Wow.
It's Clifford.
is it?
No, it's not. Yes, it's Julia. I'm
Ah,
here with information.
Want to answer it? Just open it.
Wow, you have the nice room too.
I do, yes. Please come in.
Right. Do you have anything to drink? This might be a long conversation.
I go ahead and ring the bell.
Right. He sits down, and we'll take a break here. Fuck you, Rob.
Fine.
Prepare your questions.
God, they're prepared.
I wanted to make sure I said that before everybody else deafened themselves.
Yeah.
And I have had to pee since she went and talked to Celeste. So
Oh, of course. And that was a long combo.
yeah, they
a
all
long
are.
combo.
All right, we'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. Millicent and Celeste, go ahead and deafen yourselves.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, not to. I was gonna check if anyone was listening. That's before.
Yeah. Before you sit down, you just kind of open the door, peek out. You don't see anybody out there.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a perception for me into the tower as well, just for this. Okay. All right. Yeah, with those. Okay. Yeah. Second. Too many rolls to come. That okay. What's your passive, Brooke? Like 12?
Yeah, 12.
Okay. Yep. Well, or deafen yourself. There you go. You don't notice anybody watching.
I will get a drink from the guy up front and then just.
Yep, she kind of takes one as well. Kind of sits down, she pulls out a couple of these like bangles and just starts braiding her super long hair. Alright, fire away.
Alright. Do I get paid as well? Or is this the payment in its entirety?
I gave the gold of your payment all to Celeste so she could distribute it to you guys tomorrow.
Ah.
This is the you-specific part of your payment.
Of course. Well, then first things first. Have you talked to everyone else?
I have talked to everybody else, yeah. You was
You
the last
mentioned
one.
me.
Only insofar as I figured you guys would probably stick together, and I wanted to make sure that everybody was good with that.
Insight check.
Go for it.
Okay.
Let me make a roll for her.
Okay.
Let me just make a check here, test here. Can you see this? No.
No.
You get the feeling that she probably talked about you a little bit more than she's letting on.
Okay. Look at it for a moment. And if she's drinking, I don't drink.
Okay. She is.
First question. How well do you know the big man?
My great uncle?
Yes.
Fairly well. I've only seen him personally a couple of times, but he's rather stoic and fiercely intelligent.
Okay. Know if he relies on any persons in specific? Heavily relies on?
He generally keeps things in the family, yeah? So he relies a lot on his brother, who kind of is the face of the company and distributes all of the information that they want the outside world to have. He's communications man. The other two communications men are his brother's sons, my father and his brother, Elfric and Elfgar, and they both manage communication with the rest of the country and with the rest of the world, and they also manage his spy network.
I see.
He keeps a lot of close ties as well to Dodric Fairfoot, who is the liaison to the church over in Forsberg.
Yes.
And he relies, obviously, a lot on the members of his family who are in charge of Anrich and Drexler, which is where they make most of the things that are used in the country. Communicates a lot with Sabas Nalor as well in Astor.
Hmm. What are the connections with the church?
How are they?
Between. Yes.
They're very good. They have a very strong alliance that is maintained largely by Dodric in Forsberg. He manages pretty much all of that. He goes back and forth between Forsberg and Godshold quite a bit. From what I understand, under the previous High Priestess, things were a little bit more tense, but under this new one, they have strengthened their connections quite a bit. He has some underlings that go back and forth between Forsberg and Fairberg.
Do you know who these underlings are?
I don't know any of them by name, but I know that they live in Forsberg and travel that passage through the mountains because it's a somewhat dangerous passage that neither anybody in my family nor Doderick ever want to make.
Sorry, where is that? Oh, I see it. I see it.
On the eastern side of the continent there.
That's the church connections?
Yes.
Are there any places of business that he relies on? Obviously, other than Drexler.
Again, they pretty much keep everything in the family. They try to be very self-reliant. There are mines in the mountains and hills around Fairberg, and also I understand a lot of mines in the Gotteskopf Mountains to the west, the northwest. They get most of their wood from Turnbank Forest there on the northeast. In Onric, they build these contraptions called steam carts, which are a rather new development, but they are fast land vehicles as well that are made great use of.
Really noted. I guess that answers my next one, where the materials come from.
That's most of it.
Are there any other places that Warforged were made?
Not as
Other
far as
than
I know. As far as I know, they're all made in
Drexler.
Drexler. Onric makes other things. They make gridliners and steam carts there, but the Warforged are entirely made in Drexler as far as I know.
Steam vehicles and gridliners. Let's see here. Daldrick and those underlings are basically the only connections of the church that he has. Main connections.
I believe he probably communicates personally with some of the church leadership as well. Doesn't surprise me. He doesn't do everything through his underlings. He does take some things on personally.
Hmm.
And it seems to me that that connection with the church has become very important for him lately.
Lately.
Since the coup, it seems to me that he has a lot more philosophical alignment with High Priestess.
Seems like a lot of shit's going down up there.
Yeah.
Have any other things to add on that? Just out of curiosity.
Well, he has been gathering a lot of friends. It seems like he's been reaching out a lot to some of the Elsinore siblings in Icon, as well as Emperor Sartor Benzakir in Almana. I expect things are going to be changing somewhat soon.
Ending like a war.
I don't know if it's a war so much as just a drawing of lines. There hasn't really ever been a war in Skybound lands, much that's been recorded since Leroth's conquest of Tychon. that was all an internal conflict.
Yes.
If he wanted to destroy someone, probably already would have done it, I think, but it still troubles me that he seems to be building up to something, right? He seems to be gathering
Because he
friends.
wants to control them, I would imagine, not destroy them.
To a certain extent, I think there might not be a difference to them, but
No. Does he have any other outside connections? Other than the church?
none that he's especially open about.
Oh, you don't know of any?
I don't think so. Like I said, I think he has been making friends with Emperor Sartor of Almarna, or at least overtures, and trying to make friends with a few of the Elsinore siblings in Tychon, but obviously not Ophelia.
Obviously. Does the name Isaac King ring any bells?
Isaac King? No, Isaac Zelton, of course.
King being the nickname for him.
Oh. Yeah,
Isaac Zelton.
Isaac Zelton. He was the last surviving heir to the monarchy before my great-uncle came in and deposed them all and turned it into a sort of a oligarchy.
Yeah, whatever happened to him?
I believe he worked as an artificer of some kind, and he was set to take the throne until all of that happened. And they let him live in exchange for having him work.
That's all you know.
Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about him in my lifetime. I assumed he was dead.
Most likely.
Um, why do you ask about him?
Personal interest.
Okay.
I feel like perhaps he could help me in some way down the line.
If he's still around, perhaps.
That is the question.
If your goals are what I assume they are.
What do you assume that they are?
And it sounds like you certainly have a lot of ill will against my family and their corporation, and I don't know what happened to you, but I'm fairly certain that your, shall we say, feelings are well placed. And
That they are.
the last surviving member of the royal family that came before would be somebody useful to know, I suppose. Whatever your goals are.
Let's do a insight check in general to see if she's been telling me the truth.
Sure.
Okay. Or like holding anything back.
Seems to be pretty forthright. You don't really sense any antagonism from her.
Okay. Well, how are you feeling now that you're here?
Relieved for the most part. Finally somewhere safe. Or a given definition of the word safe.
Of course. Well, I suppose we're done, Julian.
Fair enough. It finishes braiding up her long ass hair, and you see she just kind of wraps these 3 bands around the end of it that you haven't seen before.
What's that?
Oh, it's just a little tie that I like to use. I should imagine it's something you're rather familiar with.
Hmm.
I will say, I think that perhaps you want other people to think that you're something that you're not. I think you want people to think that you're a hard man, or at least, I've lived my life around hard men, and men who will stop at absolutely nothing to accomplish the goals that they have set for themselves. I don't think that you're one of them. I know you have
You don't think
not
I'll stop at nothing to accomplish my goals?
at nothing? No, I don't. I know you have a list of things that you want to do, and I think you will probably do some of them, maybe even most of them. But I think as you proceed, you're going to find that it is increasingly difficult for you to do these things that you feel like you have. And you're going to reach a point where you have to make a decision. And I think all of the men in my family, when they reached that point, they made the wrong decision. But I don't, and I hope that you will not. And I don't know what that decision is, and I don't know what the right or wrong decision is. But I think you, in my experience, which is limited, but I think you have been looking for somebody to trust. And I think that's because you know that you are somebody worth trusting. Don't feel like it.
You know, when I first saw you, my only intention with you was to perhaps just kill you and send you back to your family.
And you didn't.
This seemed much more beneficial.
But until you met me, what was your goal regarding with my name?
To torture them.
And you made a decision.
I've been debating on doing that still anyways tonight, but you know what, Julia? We've had a nice ride together, haven't we?
I have one question. One more. Why didn't you take that job in St. Aelith?
What job?
Is that how we're going to play it? Alright, fine. People with, and she just kind of holds her braid down, our particular proclivities owe at least a certain amount of honesty to each other, do we not?
It was in a book that I have that said to not. How do I phrase this? It didn't feel right.
Aid. That's
There's
twice.
quite a few on this journey.
That's at least twice. All that I am saying is, the man that you envision yourself to be, and the man who you actually behave like, sometimes they're the same. And that's a good thing, in your case.
But I assume this will mean you won't hate me too much when I kill your family.
Depends on where you start.
Hmm.
I left them. That family was never mine. You do what you have to do. Do what I have to do. Let's not let hate factor into it.
Bye, Julia.
Bye. Nods. Walks out.
Now I'll go drink.
Okay. We're good.
Yeah.
I expected that to take longer.
No, it was good though. The next day.
Oh.
Maddie is still not noticed.
Ooh. Oh.
Maddie.
That might be my fault. I was messaging her.
Oh
That's
yeah,
my bad.
it's gonna be something.
Yeah.
The following day.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, hello.
Why are you so cheery? It's 8 a.m.
Hasn't he been cheery every morning?
Yeah, how did you notice that by now?
I know. I trust me. I know. You woke me up at dawn for a potion. Very grateful for
I made another one. I made another potion. Yes.
Oh. Healing
an
or
actual
poison?
potion.
Yeah, a healing potion.
Oh. These are good.
Depending on the choices, I feel like we might need that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like choices notwithstanding, every choice we've made lately has needed it.
Well, yes, that's fair. So, care to take a little walk and talk? I just don't want to be
Everyone,
here
or
at
you...
the front of the inn and talk about stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
Oh.
fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah,
The way you led that, I was not sure where that
I
was
thought
gonna
they
go.
were
Oh,
Oh.
Russ.
Oh, Russ, you gotta go.
Get out!
We are almost done with this.
How many times? How many times? So many times.
Perhaps we can just meet the captain back here in a little bit after our talk and see what she wants to do at a certain point. Perhaps we'll come to a decision by that time.
Perhaps we can spitball a few options of where we want to go before that, so we can ask the captain
Yes.
how much that would cost and factor that into
Yes.
our walking and talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
Speaking of cost,
Yeah, here, let me go ahead and pull it out.
good.
Last night I would have just probably just sorted the money into each little bag.
Okay.
Um, math that I should have done. Hang on. I would have actually tried to divvy it out evenly.
On a party sheet.
The
You gave
full
it
the full
option
amount.
not to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Celeste wouldn't feel good about just holding on to it.
Oh,
Everybody gets money.
Money! Wow.
decent
that's good.
amount, yes.
Yes, well, we all put in work into this, and I honestly would have felt weird not giving the due amount, so there y'all go.
Well, there's two left over, so go ahead.
Very well.
I feel like that certainly gives us some options as to air
Mhm.
travel, at the very least.
Yes, which now leaves us to the whole, what are we doing next? And I'm sure that we'll have
Yeah.
another walk.
Yeah,
You're walking.
we're walking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's walking time.
It's walking time.
Alright. First of all, how are we all feeling this morning? There's a lot of shit going on up north.
I don't care for it, but
I mean,
Seems like there's a lot of
the
shit
travel.
going on everywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's just
yeah.
it's gonna be harder to travel, right? So that's what matters.
It'd be harder to travel to God's world.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Which I'm not interested in. So been
Well,
there,
I
done that.
I will sometime be interested in it if for no other reason than to return to Rise. But I can figure that out when we
You can
get
also
there.
take a hopper to Rise.
That sounds expensive, but who knows? Maybe by then I will have lots of money.
Fortunately, I think that I'm sure the situation is going to take some more turns in the time it'll take for us to travel. I don't
And I
care
still
for
think
that,
this whole
but
money concept is kind of stupid, so probably
yeah.
won't stick around much.
Millicent,
Yes.
where do you want to go?
Um, well, I mean, I would like to go back to the ladder for sure. But I also know we could go to the mountains because Cinder wants to go there, and I am quite interested in the cube and crystal thing. So if we need to, we can go south. But those are my main options. I'm kind of down to do whatever other than that.
Last.
Um, all of the talk that Cinder had on the Leviathan, it's very interesting. Honestly, I'd want to help him out with that research or anything he could find from that. Um, the God's Mouth Abyss is daunting, and I don't anticipate us hopping right over to that and without significant preparation. So
What interest do you have with it?
there's a clan over there of Azamar, and that's the only area that Azamar come from. And there's writings on it, but I honestly want to go there and see what it is myself. It's weird to think about, and in all the readings, it just kind of bothered me. So I'd rather actually investigate it for myself.
Cinder, need I ask?
The two mountains in Seltenbrock. I'm fine with returning north if everyone prefers. It just seems beneficial to go to the nearest one, and I'm honestly in no rush to paddle back up the North Flow River after recently paddling all the way down it.
I guess next question will be how much will it be to get to these different places?
Wait, where do you want to go, Ruck? Does that change?
I have more reason to go west, but I could find business anywhere still. Less so at this point in the ladder, but it still does interest me to some degree.
Less in the ladder now? Why is that?
Because other things are more important now.
That's vague and concerning.
I have reason to go everywhere else more. Both in, shit, what the fuck? To Tychon and Seltenbrock.
I know almost nothing of Tacon.
So,
I mean, aside from the
workplace.
standard things, but
I don't know anything about Leviathans, but just personally, I think there would be one in Tychon somewhere. It is a place that was filled with monsters. Just putting that out there, but
they are monster adjacent, but to my understanding, they are older than that.
well, I mean, that still feel like Tycon might be a place, but I wouldn't know where to look. And really, I have all sorts of places in Certain Brock to go to.
Pull out the notes again. Probably 4, know of at least 2, 1.5. I've kind of ignored that line. One of them in Shaviric, one trapped underground, and one probably in the depths.
Underground?
I don't know what that means.
Like where you came from?
I don't know what that means. I would assume where I came from would be the depths. The only underground of which I'm aware is this giant hole in the ground that Celeste is now interested in.
Well,
But that's just because I don't know of caves up here. Though
Yes,
they
yeah,
may
I mean,
exist, I don't know about them.
Cinder is reading out of this tattered, like water-damaged notebook.
Okay. I mean, there's plenty of mountain ranges. Other than
And
just here in Shaviric. There's plenty in Tycon, there's a few in, well, I guess there's more than a few in Sunbrock.
Well, just wandering to mountains hoping for leviathans seems ill-advised. Might as well head to the ones that have at
Yes,
least a lead. You seem to be the investigative type, you understand?
yes.
you said foreign.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted a clarification. 4 in total.
Probably,
2
not
in
certain.
What?
Two,
question mark.
2 for certain. 1 in Tycon. Or, not Tycon. 1 in Shaviric,
Shaviric.
1 underground, 1 probably in the depths.
Great. Well,
I
hmm. Okay, what's... Okay, we do the Leviathan thing. What's next?
West?
If I find what I'm looking for, then I go to Sultanbrook.
Which we would have to go west anyway, probably.
West?
yeah.
So
West.
that would be, so yeah, I guess after that Tycon, then figure out how to get to Zeldenbrock, which I don't think
I
would be
guess
too bad. It's more direct than going from the ladder in Godsfold, which is the no-no.
Yes.
So
to throw Rook a bone, I have interest in Seltenbrock, specifically the island farthest west, Sinden, which I say this is throwing Rook a bone because are you aware of this place, Celeste? For I feel if you were, you would also be interested in it.
Oh, the little island place by itself.
Yes, Sinden.
Sinden.
It is the home of
Oh,
their
I
magical
see.
academy.
Yes, I am interested in that. That's one of my places.
Yes, and I figured if she were aware of it, Celeste might also be interested in it, seeming as she likes this more academic things.
I'm also interested in Asta.
I unfortunately am as well, though I know not great things about it.
Exactly. I am more than willing to help you with your Leviathan search if you all are more than willing to travel with me to places.
I'm fine with that.
And do what?
Yeah, can we please get some more context on that? Listen, I've been respectful of your privacy thus far. But
Yes,
also,
I'm trying to form words. Hold on.
oh, this fills me with confidence.
Edge around the lies with partial
I mean,
truth.
if it's just beating people up, I can do that. I don't mind.
I'm going places to... I have a list of people I'd like to see. Most of which kill.
Oh.
For good reasons. They're terrible people.
Do the
One of which being the ban on Asta. I would assume. I haven't met him yet, so I haven't made the decision quite yet.
How bad
The
are
one-
we talking about?
Pretty bad.
Experimenting on people on the conflux line.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Honestly, looking back at that, I would also like to go to Aster because there's a lot of not good things going on there that probably should be stopped. I don't know how we would, but if you're only planning to try to.
Astor will be one of the least friendly places we visit. It's only home to this powerful experimenting
Oh,
arcane
that's
individual.
your.
Sometimes it fixes itself.
Sometimes.
yeah.
Didn't this time.
So glad that I paid for that.
I will say, I know it's more than a little out of the way, but when we go to Tycon, I really would like to visit the southern continent that's not so friendly with the others.
Why?
Because I'd like to make friends with them.
Yeah, they are the powers
Oh.
that be, so I would like to visit that as well. I don't get why they can't just get along, but
Welcome to politics there.
I'm afraid my dalliances will dip into the politics just a bit. But obviously, none of you have to assist me in any of my visits to these people. I really do intend to seek them out on my own. If there are places nearby, the places I want to go to that you'd like to go to as well, Millicent, you want to just travel, there'll be plenty of places to go to along the way. I'm sure there'll be plenty of places to research on by every place that I'd like to go to.
Yeah, though with all that's in regard, I do think it'd be a bit wise. I know, especially items that actually fully disguise are hard to come by, and we probably can't find it one here, but maybe we should start investing into disguises at some point. If only
No.
for,
Yes. Sorry.
I just an investment for whatever, if we have to travel and have to go through certain areas, if war or bad things popped up or we pissed off the wrong leader, it might be good to have a backup.
Yes. I'm fairly good at disguising people. Though obviously Cinder might be a problem.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
of.
Frankly, I am one of the least convincing people you've ever spoken to. Even with a disguise, I don't think it would take them long to discover that I'm not from around.
I mean, yes,
Yes.
but also, looking at a random man, you're less compelled to remember their face than.
I am slowly but surely working on making a potion that can perhaps do this sort of thing. But I'm making it on my own, so it'll take some time.
Very well. I don't have many spells that help in this. So,
I have the one, but it can really only be used on myself.
yeah.
If we get an actual kit that's used to disguise people, then I can work my magic on you two, but yeah. Unless we throw like the cloak doesn't really work for Cinder either.
Yeah,
Just
how
kind of
tall is Cinder again? Like 7
billowing smoke out of it.
Yeah.
I'll have to come later.
Yeah, just for the record, we should think about that.
But along that line, in a little bit of a way, I would like to go to Alakesh. Because there could perhaps be a disguise kit for sale there.
There are also merchants here.
Oh, well, maybe I don't have to do that. But But if you all are cool with it, even though we did just get paid, I would be more than happy to do a job here.
Yeah. I mean, more money, help us travel.
How
More
about we
money.
see how much the flying around will cost?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, let's do that first, perhaps, yes.
Yeah. And there are other hoppers probably in this area that we could try to find. If
I imagine they will not be cheaper than this one.
that's true.
That's quite true.
Yeah.
I don't know how the captain will feel about flying to this mountain. That's my only concern.
Yeah, I don't.
Because people don't like going past the wall.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah.
Also, Millicent, was there like any sandstorms or anything like that to contend with? Like, was that an issue?
I'm guessing probably.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that could definitely be a thing. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of bad stuff in the desert.
Yes, yeah. Yeah,
But I
basically
can be your
anything
guide
that
for
I've heard
that.
is bad. Oh, good, yes.
That's where I mostly traveled, was the Spirelands and stuff, so. It's not gonna be the most safe travel, but yeah, if we can get this hopper somehow, we can get a good deal. Maybe we can avoid at least part of the nasty stuff to get where we need to go.
Well, I guess let's go ask the captain, huh? Wake up
Yeah,
first.
nice.
Yeah, you can. You've been walking around for a little bit now. She's up.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, oh, hey!
Oh, captain, hello. We would perhaps like to charter another course somewhere.
Sure, yeah, where you want to go?
The Tempest Mountains.
You're crazy. I'm not going there.
But what if we paid you really well?
No, no, thank you. How much?
How much would it take?
Don't say that. Don't ask that.
1,000 gold.
See?
You know, people don't fly there, right? People don't fly
Yeah,
in the
so-
desert.
Yes, I know.
It's not safe.
Yeah.
It's also really hot there, which means these things don't work as well.
Oh. Oh.
Part of the reason why it's not safe. I don't
I
know if
didn't
you're
know that
familiar
part.
with how they work, but it's like they get the
Yeah.
you get heat rises, right? It's a balloon. So if it's
Yeah,
really
yeah, that's
hot,
fair.
If you
you can still kind of do it,
just
but
need to generate more heat than the air, I can probably help with that.
sure, but also there's like sandstorms, and anytime we land, we're probably going to get beset on by like crazy nomads and rabid camels and
Rabbit kills.
worms.
That's the second time I've heard that phrase.
What?
It happens, man. It's an epidemic.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of true, though.
Rabies?
Camels are mean.
A rabies.
One
Oh,
singular
no.
rabies.
No, a rabies.
No, yeah. No, like.
Rabies and night.
One.
A rabies
Yeah.
night, yeah.
Yeah.
Maddie just got it.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I missed
A
a little bit.
rabies at night. One rabies, please.
Oh,
Right,
man.
1 second, Captain. Just like pull people.
It's like crew puddle.
Alright, plan B.
I guide you guys down towards the mountains in danger. That's the only opportunity for going down there.
I don't.
How did you
In-
get out of
Oh,
there
wow.
alone?
I don't like that.
Wandered a bit. I mean, I frequently travel down south in the areas by the
No,
spiral.
I hate this plan. No, I don't
So,
like any part of this
I
plan.
mean, somewhat familiar. I mean, that's what I kind of did for 3 years, was wander with my tribe.
No!
Yeah, we're in the Manic Tribe. We go move around. We're in the
Oh.
area.
I meant to get out. Okay.
No. That didn't take that long. I was kind of close to the wall, so
How
not
long
too
did that
bad.
take?
Maybe like a week, couple days
And
to
you
a
were
week.
close to the wall?
Yeah, I was
Hmm.
kind of right by. Actually, I was kind of right by the big hole. So
Yo, I know nobody
Right.
asked me, but if we go down there, we're all gonna fucking die.
Yeah. I'm feeling a lot less enthusiastic about this travel now that we don't have the ship.
I agree.
I warned you
Glad.
guys. I told you guys this.
Okay.
I mean, we can. I want you guys to know that's what we're dealing
Yeah.
with.
I don't think I'm fully prepared for that right this moment. Just to put out there.
Yeah, I wish to visit, but not at the expense of getting bitten, apparently.
Okay, so where does that leave us?
Either we go west or...
Or north.
Alright,
To
so
the
here's...
fucking ladder.
Yeah, if we go north, I guess now would be the optimal time to do it, because if we're gonna head to Tychon at some point, I mean, I don't know. If we want to go to the ladder, it seems like now would be the time, being that we can only go that way right now from where we are. You know what I'm saying here?
If
Lose
we
my
head
words.
west, we're going to have to come all the way back down to
Yes,
Sevilla
yes.
to get to the ladder.
Yes,
yeah.
because later on, if we go to Seltenbrock at the point, we can't go the God's Hold and then the ladder. I don't know. I don't know if there's any of those Leviathans up there or not, but why were you were interested in the mountains, yes? The crumbling ones?
In which? Yes.
Is there a particular reason? Was it Leviathan there?
There is something related to them. I wasn't given a direct explanation other than just I should go there. But it was spoken in the same breath as the mountains we were just about to go to, so I figure it must be worth a try.
You do any opinions as to where we go?
I'll
It's
go
kind of
anywhere.
Do we?
Sounds like the
What?
options are mountains and Seltenbrock, and Seltenbrock sounds a lot more complicated than mountains.
Yes. Just to check real quick, does anyone want to go to any of these unnamed islands?
I've been to a couple of them.
Aren't they
They're
just-
pretty cool.
Aren't they just pirate
Small.
lands?
Well,
uh,
They're pretty cool.
I
But
know. Each of them has their own thing.
let me double check. I mean, there might be interesting things there, but I don't have anything.
I have
Thing.
nothing specific about any of them.
I have no particular interest in any, other than avoiding or harming pirates would be the extent of my interest there.
Some of you have heard of Rocinante as well, which is where there's a group of demonic druids who apparently can see the future.
I tell you that.
Oh,
I imagine you're thinking that it's cool. Where were they?
Rocinante.
Like northwesternmost corner.
Yeah, so the basic rundown that you guys know about these places is Rhino's Eye is like the capital. Farport is sort of the defense capital. It's where anybody who wants to make a fresh start can basically go there and work to defend them. Fletcher's Point is where there are some Warforged, and also it's where they repair busted up hoppers and gridliners. Actually, sorry, that's Sanders Drift. Fletcher's Point is... I remember what it is.
Ancient stuff.
Big city, ancient ruins,
Yeah.
that kind of
ancient ruins. Oh,
Ooh.
Shalom.
you know what?
thing. Leon's Well
I'm beginning to
is
be
a whole
more
bunch of
interested in these
farmers.
places.
Hell's Eye is a big donut where they send half of their stuff to Xibalba.
To what?
Tushibalba.
To Xibalba! No, you probably would have picked this up at some point. Basically, the pirates who live here, they operate under what they call the Silent Pact, which means A, they don't rob each other, and B, half of everything that they steal from other people, they dump off into the sea below there. As part of a remembrance ritual to the islands that did not get ascended with the others. And some of that stuff finds its way to Spindrift. So this is something that you would have been familiar with.
That's fair. Okay.
All right. Ladder. Any of these islands that we're interested? Just work our way around. How that sounds. I don't know.
We're kind of in a. I
Sure,
feel like
I
either
mean-
way we're going to be having to backtrack one way or another, so it's really what we want to go do first.
Captain.
What? Are you done whispering to each other?
Not yet, but a quick question.
Yeah?
How much for a trip to Saint Baranon?
That's like pretty far. Probably
I
like
know it's pretty far,
maybe
yes.
175.
Oh, that's manageable. Yes.
Just because I know you guys are good for it, because you guys are good for it, right?
Yep, we're very good for it. Yes.
And half of that is I'm kind of already going that way anyway, so.
Would it be simpler to just get to St. Aldwinel and then gridliner our way there? It'd be slower, but probably cheaper.
Would it?
You'd have to make like the journey that you already made back up the river and all that.
I think.
I'm more than willing to pay a little bit more, so I don't have to make that journey.
Yeah, I don't want to row again, to be frank. I mean,
We'll fight dinosaurs again.
Yeah. I mean,
Not
Yes,
yet.
this time they won't eat Julia.
Yeah, that's true.
There's that.
Yes.
Also, there was that monastery that we passed that you sounded like you had a passing interest in. Actually, weren't there like several?
Yes, there's one right next to Saint I guess we could stop there first. It's right up the mountain.
Yeah,
They said,
there's the one up there.
and there's also the place Saint Karzai. I mean, I'm
no.
somewhat interested in that place. Seemed
Matthew,
like kind of a
no.
strange place to get to.
Matthew, I know the island Sin from the Atlas. Was that one that had come up yet?
Yes, so there is a monastery there as well. The Astral Self. They apparently have a lot of ancient, mystical, weird knowledge there as well, and also you've heard that nobody has heard from them in a while.
Ooh. Sounds like a fun mystery.
And it's like right here.
Captain,
What?
how much to the Abbey of Sin?
That's kind of out there. 50?
I like this one.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Pocket, right?
Not directly related to anything we were doing, but
No, but it
on
just
the
sounds
way
interesting,
and
yeah.
Interesting.
No, that sounds interesting.
I just think they're neat.
So, as you interested? Ancient texts?
There's no good way to go about this, so I'm kind of just along for the ride. Like, there's. travel's going to be.
Long term, is there anywhere you're trying to go, or are you also just out to be out?
I mean, a lot of the major magical points I'd like to peer into, so like God's Mouth and then the islands that were mentioned earlier. Zindel or Zindin. Astor is dangerous, and I'm not about to jump to that. Um,
Any
otherwise, I
places
mean,
up north?
with
If we're gonna be near the ladder anyways.
yeah. Don't think I have anything off the top of my head. You just see her pull out just a notebook and just sifting through all the pages and like, not on the top of my head. As far as going up to the ladder, I think I'm just along for the ride in that one, but I'm alright with that. We can learn some new things and we get some good info out of it.
It's
Right.
far as hell, but Saint Lasgar seems like the island that would interest you. It's the one that Ben
Lasgar.
mentioned his sister running way the fuck up there.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Hmm.
There is an abbey up there.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would be interesting, yes.
Yeah, so just so the information is out there, which I will write down for you guys later. Yeah, there are a number of monasteries and abbeys all around. There are the Abbey of Sin is where the monks of the Astral Self study. The Fifth Isle Winery is where the Drunken Master monks study. The Abbey of St. Carzire, which is up that big mountain there, is where monks of the Four Elements study. That mountain, called the Fountainhead, which is to the east of Lake Hall on Taikon, is where monks of the Kensei study. The Temple of Life and Death in God's Hold serves as the monastery for the Long Death, as well as Way of Mercy monks. The Abbey of St. Lasgar is where Way of Open Hand monks study. The Monastery of Decay in Zeltenbrock to the southeast is where monks of the Shadow study. And the Tabernacle of the Sun, which is right outside God's Mouth Abyss, is where monks of the Sun Soul study. And all these places also have reliquaries and libraries with texts, as well as artifacts of some varieties or another.
I think if we work our way down the ladder, pop by a few of those little unnamed islands, then maybe by that point, whatever. Fuck it. Let's go into the desert, right? That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm feeling right now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just in the whole, if you're just pointing out things that vaguely interest us, like the whole thing with the druidic seers might be interesting, but I'm not sure if that's something we want to go out of our way for.
I would
I mean,
like to.
by the point that we work our way down the ladder, I mean,
Yeah, if we come back down, then
these
it's
islands are all just next to each other.
yeah.
I would perhaps, if we would be amenable, like to start there and work our way up.
In the islands?
Specifically the druids who can ostensibly see the future.
Like, go there next?
Oh, like go
Yes.
to the unnamed islands first.
Why
and
I am
then
here.
go to Sin?
Why I am here. I am on a clock. It is not clear how long or in what nature, but
Well, like you're
I
gonna
cannot
die?
be up here forever.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to the Seer Island.
So perhaps I can speak to them to see how long.
Okay.
Is that something you want any of our help to try to decipher?
If there's an answer, it lies in Saltenbrock, and I don't think we're ready to go there. So,
Yeah.
though I cannot be here forever, I can't also rushing to my death would serve no purpose. So there must be a balance.
Was that? I hope I'm not prying, and if I am, you're welcome to say anything, but is that why you're looking for Rusty initially, or did you have other...
Yes, it was. Though I am beginning to think that it might be related to my other problem. The Leviathan thing that Millicent and I are interested in. So we'll see.
Oh.
What was the name of that island again?
Rocinante.
Rocinante.
See,
That's how you
see.
pronounce that? Yeah.
That's the name of Don Quixote's horse.
Captain!
Yeah!
Out there?
30.
And then to Sin,
Sure.
and then back up north.
Up to where? St. Baranon?
Do we want to visit that abbey next to St. Enverno?
Think of her there.
Maybe it'd be a good place to kind of.
And then that abbey next to your home.
Okay.
I think what my friend here is getting at is, can we count on you to stick around if you can count on us to be a reliable source of income?
Yeah, if you'll pay me, I don't give a fuck.
Hell yeah. Alright.
Alright, well, there we go.
So, Sin or Rocinante?
Rocinante.
First Rocinante,
Yeah.
then Sin, then that other abbey, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, we'll call that 100 gold for all of it.
Yeah, alright.
Just because I'm a little worried about what's going on over there at Sin, and that mountain is kind of high.
What's to be worried about?
How about we pay Rocinante first, and then based on what I may or may not learn, we'll pay you accordingly for the rest
Okay,
of the journey.
30 gold. You wanna go now? Is that what you're saying?
Unless anyone has any other reason to stay.
We
in
could
this
be there
desert.
by
Oh
lunch.
wait. Yeah, let me buy something first in town.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do that.
And then, yes, let's go. I can cover 10 if you want. Gold
10? For what?
for our trip.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah,
Oh, sure. For some reason I thought it was more than that.
He was asking 30.
Yeah, it is more than that. I'm just saying that I'll cover 10.
Oh. I'll also, I guess.
Yeah.
Leaves 10 for the other two.
I can go get supplies in town. So, either way, we'd be fine. We're both gonna get supplies, so...
You know, I think we're all going.
Yeah.
I will
Get
go
most
with you, though. I
needs.
don't think I'm going to buy anything.
I'm gonna look for meat.
I will look for a disguise kit.
Okay.
That-
Millicent, you find meat. And as much
Yay.
money as you want to, you can get meat. As
Yay.
usual, you find a strange man, as there seems to be in every city, a strange man cooking some meat. He has some spit roasting cockatrice. See this like gnome who's definitely seen better days. Like, hey, you want some of this? Tried to turn me to
Yeah.
stone.
Don't touch that.
Oh, it's very good. I promise. It's not gonna
I didn't know
petrify
that.
anymore. It'll just petrify your taste buds with deliciousness.
What else you got?
No.
Beef.
Beef. I'll take the beef.
Okay.
Pieces. Oh,
Celeste is immediately wondering if she should have given this child an allowance.
probably should, but whatever.
Beef. What's for dinner?
Beef.
Rook, you find this what the fuck? Green scaled dragonborn guy who looks very, very fat and is standing at a market stall. Hello.
Hello. Like something that I can help disguise my friends with in some point.
Oh yeah. Let me look. pulls out this wrapped up, like it's kind of like wrapped up in ribbon. It's like box, something like a disguise kit.
Yes, yes. I would also just like to ask. I was like point over to it, Cinder. Do you have anything that might work in this regard into him?
You mean like in the long term?
Sure.
Probably not. I could turn him temporarily invisible, but I gather that's not quite what you're after. Actually, let me take a look.
Okay.
How much you have disguised?
Yeah. Well, you just happen to be in luck. I traveled back and forth between here and Tamaran and Grasswind, and while I was back in Grasswind, I came upon this little number. And he pulls out this, like, trilby.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You pop that bitch on, you wait a little bit, take a snooze. Next day, you can be anything you want, within reason.
Alright. I think. Alright, how much for the disguise kit and the hat?
This guy's gonna run you 25 big ones. The big ones being medium ones, if you consider platinum big ones, which maybe you do, but I don't.
No,
Gold.
I
It's
don't.
25 gold.
Yes, yes.
For the hat of disguise, that's going to be a little bit of a pricier number considering its magicality. I might have to ask 450 for that boy.
Okay, 1 second.
Of course.
Keep that on the table here.
I also have things
Yeah.
needing done if you want to liberate.
What kind of things need done?
Well, they say there's a basilisk been terrorizing folks, walking back and forth between here and Alakesh, digging out their brains, laying babies inside. That basilisk,
That's terrible.
them's got them eyeballs that turn you to stone and whatnot.
Ah, I see.
I like them eyeballs. I can use them for stuff. I can sell them to people who use them for weird, freaky shit. Give me some
Okay,
eyeballs,
so
you can
if-
have a hat.
Like, in trade?
Yeah.
1 minute. It's
3
gonna
eyeballs
be-
at least.
Wait, what?
3
Okay.
eyeballs. 3. There's a pair of them.
Okay. Alright. Alright, guys, so, here's the thing. This man has a hat that could disguise Cinder into something, whatever the fuck he wants. But in return, he wants us to go take eyes from a basilisk. That's pestering people on the road from here to the other city.
Sure.
You've been doing a good deed.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, just try and haggle the price. Sounds like the kind of thing that you would be good at doing.
Russ, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Cinder.
But I'm just trying to
You're
haggle
speaking
the
a
price
different
down.
language
Seriously,
than
you'd be good at it.
At least that time I actually heard him.
Yeah, I understood what he said. It just
Little-
sounded weird.
Yeah.
Did you not try to haggle the price? It seems like the kind of thing you would be good at doing.
I mean, what part of that would I be haggling here?
I mean,
Yes.
we can try. Kind of beefy beast, but
I
not impossible.
could try to help you, I'm not sure. But also,
I mean, he just kind of offered the job. I
how
really
much?
not for us to be like, hey, can we kill something else?
How much was the price?
To buy it, and we couldn't afford it.
Yeah, to buy it, it was 400 gold.
450.
450. Which, I mean, I guess we might be able to just afford that, but
That
Seems
is a
like
lot of money, but also that's also a
Very
very hard
important
item.
for Cinder.
Or we just go fight some stupid thing.
I'm
or we
kind
just
of
fight a stupid thing.
okay with just fighting this stupid thing.
I would like to as well because I would like to harvest parts of its body as well.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I am now way more
The
concerned
poison.
about fighting
The
the
poison!
thing.
Right.
Yes.
Oh.
Not to use on you?
Thanks for that clarification.
Oh,
I'm
why
so
you
comforted now. Can't you see the comfort on my face?
Yes.
Eh.
Well, what are you thinking about?
That man has impeccable hearing. I don't understand.
Oh yeah, I got like every fifth word.
If we fight the basilisk and do the stuff, can we just have the disguise kit as well?
Yeah, sure. I don't give a shit. That ain't magic.
Alright.
That's just a box. You can have it now.
Oh, shit. Oh.
I'm all about making a good deal. Let it not be said about
Alright.
Valiant or Rimnus that it does not make a good
Alright.
deal. Valiant has value. Be my motto. I should hang that on my store.
You probably should, yes.
How about we just go do this and just stop?
Either-
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Let's go. Let's get it. I don't. He's creepy.
I can hear you.
I
Yeah.
know.
So we take the job. We take it?
Take the job.
Yeah.
Take
Your
the
job?
Yeah.
Cinder?
Yeah, take the job. Give me them eyeballs.
Sure.
What the fuck?
We will retrieve the eyeballs.
My thanks.
Can I have the disguise kit? Thank you.
I'll be right here for another 3 days. Then I gotta leave.
Wait, how far away is the basilisk?
3 days.
I'll be here for another 5 days.
Okay.
Go get me them eyeballs.
Okay, thank you. Alright. Alright, I know that wasn't exactly the plan.
Well, we did want to do a job, and also I myself would like if we ever go to an area that's a bit more hostile to the old
Something
gods. Well, I just having something would be good. Yeah,
You could just buy different clothes.
you
Well-
know,
We could.
Yes, what Celeste is currently concerned with is bearing the iconography of the old gods. You could just buy different clothes.
that's fair.
Cinder, it has meaning to her.
It does, but there's a certain amount of.
And disguising it would not have the same effect.
I don't know.
While this conversation is going on, I would go to find clothes in the market and just be like,
Okay,
you
you can
just gonna. Cinder had a point.
find a
It's like, I don't know what's going on.
Dungeons and
I'm not
Dillards.
carrying around a walking stick to a friend.
It's a Dillards?
Not Dilders. Dillards. All right. Well, you guys buy some clothes. Take on a new quest to kill some basilisks.
Yeah.
And set off to kill some basilisks and scoop out their eyeballs with a melon baller.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
no!
And we'll go ahead and
Buy that.
stop there.
Include that
we
in the
buy the
disguise
melon
kit. Yeah. They slip that into the disguise kit.
To buy
I choose to
Cinder.
believe in one of our herbalism kits.
A trilby.
That one was somewhere. Yeah.
Trilby of disguise. All right. Yeah, that was it.
Did it?
We did it, ladies and
Yay.
gentlemen. We got him. Feels like a safe assumption we'll probably not be playing next week, considering it'll be the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Feels right.
So 2 weeks, kids, for Basilisks, Rocinante, and the Abbey of Sin. Laughter kills the fear within.
I'm ready for that Abbey of Sin. I want
Oh
to know.
no, you're not.
I want to know.
I'm ready for druid times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get from the Oracle people, if at all.
We'll see. Later, Tater.
Thanks, friends.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.